Hey guys, I am live on Facebook and I hope you're doing absolutely brilliant today. Now, I want to be talking to you about a very special subject, whereas it's been quite a while since I've been doing a Facebook Live, but I want to speak to you about a subject which really transformed my life. You see, I've just recently got back from Israel, having trained 95 people to really let go of trauma. And although that's not my story, that's the reason as to why I actually haven't been around for a little bit. I've been away, I've been teaching, I've been doing lots of things with Mind Mastery, which is now closed, by the way. So there's, you can sign up to be notified, but Mind Mastery is now closed. And I'm doing a live call with those guys in the next hour or so. But let me share you my own personal story. Would that be okay? Because I think that you'll find that you're going to probably resonate with this. You see, when I was 20 years old, I really felt this lack of connection in my life. I felt as if I just needed this connection, whether it be fulfillment, love, peace, God, whatever you call it. I mean, I don't really want to get into names, but have you ever felt like you've been missing a connection? Because I know I did when I was 20 years old, and I went on a mission to really figure out how I could get that connection, what I could do to experience that deep feeling that we all really crave. So I went on that journey, and the first thing I began to do was read every book I could possibly think of in many different subjects, from you could say the metaphysical side to the psychological side, the science side, the spiritual side, whatever book was out there. I probably read it because I thought there must be the answer that I've been really seeking. There must be this way, this process, or a technique, or whatever it was, that will allow me to experience that inner contentment, where I could just feel as if I was worthy and good enough, and I could just do whatever I wanted in my life. And I read hundreds of books. I mean, literally hundreds and hundreds of books, invested a lot of money into those books, and despite the investment, despite reading so many, it just didn't find that connection for me. It just didn't get it. I mean, there's great information, but it just didn't really work for me personally. So then I thought, well, what else can I do? So I began to purchase all the audio programs. I thought maybe if I just learn it in a different way, it will allow it to resonate deep in my soul, my being, the way of being in this world. Once again, it was an amazing set of content, but it really did not get me to where I wanted to be. It didn't give me that connection. So where else do we go? Well, back then, obviously online was around, so I went online. I searched everywhere for all the ebooks, all the digital downloads, all the video courses, anything I could possibly get my hands on, investing that money into just figuring out, how can I get that contentment? How can I experience that deeper part of me, which will allow me to break free of the issues I was experiencing? Because life was good, but it wasn't great. Business was okay, but it wasn't where I am right now. I wasn't making a big impact on this world, and more importantly, I was not making a big impact on my own life, in me as a person, which I'm sure you're aware of. Like, if you may have something in your life that you really want to let go of, and you really want to be able to be the full potential of you, you probably resonate with that, right? But it didn't give me that answer. Great content. In fact, there's a lot of rubbish content along the way, but sometimes you've got to get through the bad content to get to the good content. But it didn't really give it to me. So I began on this mission of learning and learning and learning, and it got to the point on the evening of my 21st birthday. You see, I had an epiphany. I had a breakthrough, which was really magical. It was really something that transformed my life. It just transformed everything. Now, of course, you need some other vital things, but I want to give you this. You see, when I was outside my house, it was very close to midnight, almost my birthday and everything like that, and I was just reflecting on that journey. I was reflecting on what I've been doing. Because like you've probably tried many things, and I tried so many things, and even speaking to people, speaking to mentors, because it's always good to have a mentor, and despite in that situation, great advice, it didn't really give it for me. Got to find the right mentor, you see, someone who you resonate with. So as I was reflecting over all the effort, all the struggle, all the desire to finally break free from my life, something interesting happened. You see, I was outside my house, reflecting, and suddenly, everything became quiet. It was really weird. It's like all the cars which were out just suddenly weren't there. There was no sound, and it was just silence. And that silence actually was created in me too. You see, there was a stillness inside of me. There was this feeling that something was going to happen. Very strange, I know. But we can all do this with the right tools. And in that moment of stillness, when everything was quiet on the outside, I could feel the wind on my face, the cool May evening. And I was just feeling as if I was going on the inside of me. And that is where I realized exactly how to get my inner connection. But before I tell you what I learned, we must realize that we must assume responsibility. You may have invested in things in the past, programs, coaches, medication, whatever it is, and you may not have got your result. I'm presuming there might be something in your life that you must and absolute need to change. And you're probably willing to do whatever it takes, right? Because if you're willing to do whatever it takes, you'll find the solution that you need. So if you assume responsibility and take massive, absolute massive inspired action in doing something each and every day. That's why I created Mind Mastery ultimately, because that means I could coach you to where you wanted to be. Like I said, it's closed right now, but that is which really brought me that point of clarity of how I can serve you best in this world. It'll be opening up soon, I'm sure. But we must assume that responsibility. And the most important thing you should ever do is create a new friend. What does that mean? Create a new friend. You see, people have issues because they're out of rapport with their own unconscious mind. I mean, if you could change, you would have changed by now. You'd just click your fingers and you'd have let go of the issue. But if you cannot just simply click your fingers and let go of the issue, it must mean that you're out of rapport. That your unconscious mind has been programmed by external situations like society, your friends, bosses, people influencing your life, the media, all those things, and more importantly, the experiences that you go through, which have created limiting beliefs that I'm not worthy, that I'm not good enough, I'm not capable, the feelings of doubt, the worry, the anxiety, the lack of confidence, the fear. And if you add those together, you don't get a set of good behaviors. In fact, you create issues in your life. So you must make a pact with your unconscious. You must begin to make a pact with yourself. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get in touch with my best friend, my unconscious mind. Because my unconscious mind, although it may be doing a pretty rubbish job right now by running anxiety or running fears or phobias or low self-esteem, it's always trying to protect you. It's just misguided. It's like when you get home from work and say you have a child, you get home from work and your child has painted this most beautiful picture for you. It's amazing, it's brilliant, and you think, wow, that's a brilliant picture, but I just wish it wasn't on my wall and in paint. So the intention of the child was amazing, wanted to do something great for you, but the behavior, the application, the outcome on the wall, not so good. And it's the same thing with your unconscious mind. You must educate your unconscious mind. Like going to school, going to college, or going to university, or going and working, whatever it is, you're educating yourself. And if you've been listening or watching my work for a period of time, you will realize that this is all education. Lifelong education, which if you utilize, it will cause you to experience something very profound. And that leaves me to what I learned in that moment, outside my house, everything quiet, everything still, reflecting on all the actions I've been taking on the outside, just searching and searching and searching. And in that one moment, I realized that there was nothing to find externally. There was nothing that I needed to acquire on the outside. And instead, that connection was always there. That connection was within me. That connection was waiting to be found. It was just waiting to say, hey, Joseph, I'm going to help you. I'm going to support you. I'm your unconscious mind. But you got to get yourself to that point. Rather searching externally, you must make the critical decision to invest in yourself to make that connection. To be who you are, the most brilliant, perfect part of you, which can just expand in each and every area of your life. That is something that we must all do. I can promise you, those who change make a decision so profound that they're willing to do whatever it takes. Those who do not change live by the excuse, live by the reason as to why they are like they are. They're just a product of their environment and they think that's okay. It's not okay. We must wake up to the fact that rather being a product of your environment, being a product of life, you must be the example of how you want to be. Rather being a product of life, allow you, yourself, to be the product of what you want to be. And when you do that, you will transform your life. It might not be easy, but it doesn't have to be hard either. That's what people think. You may have tried so many different things, but you know what? You can actually have fun while transforming. You can actually have fun and enjoy it and get your unconscious mind on your side. What happens when that happens is that it means it works on your command. So if you want to be confident, you become confident. When you want to really experience something, you begin to access the infinite resources of who you wish to be in every way. It is that profound. It can take work, but it can be very fun as well. So I invite you to give up the limitations. I invite you to give up your excuses as to why you are like you are and say, hey, Joseph, you know what? I'm going to take responsibility. You see, in that moment, I realized if something was going to change, I had to be the change maker. I had to get my mind in gear to make it happen. You see, we weren't taught how to get our mind in gear. We might have been taught mathematics or English and all those other subjects or science and physical education, all those things, but we were never taught how the mind actually works. And even if we were, the chances are you probably may not even do it because you may not want it bad enough. I always think that going through and making that decision is far better than a lifetime of regret. It's far better to be able to do something with your life that gives you more joy, happiness, and that inner connection than ever before. So consider how you want to be different. Consider and act as if right now, really assume how you'd like to be. What you be seeing, what you be hearing, that self-talk saying, I'm awesome, I'm brilliant, I'm worthy, I'm good enough, I'm competent in what I'm doing, I'm getting to where I want to be. I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet. Maybe that person or that solution will just pop up into your life, but you know what? I'm going to do it. And just consider exactly how you want to be, acting as if it already happened. And ask yourself, is this something that you'd really want? Is there enough why to make this happen? And by why, I mean your motivation, your drive, the thing which really causes you to make things happen. That is what we have to do. So I invite you to give up your limitations. And I say this very meaningful and not lightly, but to give up the illusion that we're not good enough. To give up that doubt, to give up that fear, may not be easy, but in time, maybe in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, a month, or whatever it is, maybe 6 months, would you be willing to do whatever it takes if you knew for 6 months, in 6 months' time, you would get your outcome? Now, if you don't, then the chances are you're not going to make the change. You've got to realize, what am I going to give up? I'm going to give up money. Am I going to give up my time? Am I going to give up whatever it is to get to your outcome? That's investment in yourself. But consider what it'll be like having made that change. Would you like to be there? What would it allow you to do in your health, your relationship, your career, your finances, all those things? You see, that was my epiphany. That I had everything inside of me. I just had to figure out how to make that happen. I figured that out in the end. And that's why I created Mind Mastery. As I said, I'm doing a live coaching call in 1 hour's time with all of them, a Q&A this week, where they get to ask me questions. But I just want you to know that you are worthy and good enough. You are capable. You just got to make that decision to do something with your life. So I really look forward to speaking to you soon, guys. Have the most wonderful day. And always realize you're worthy and good enough. And I hope you may have found a breakthrough. If not, realize it is absolutely possible. I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks and goodbye.